My name is Howard Korntved, President and CEO of Korntved Associates. We're hoping that you're here watching this video because you're thinking about using us for your IRS or state tax problems. I'd like to tell you why I think you should use our services, and I hope that after you see this video you at least have a pretty good idea of what we can do for you here. We've been in business 17 years. It's the only thing that we do. We don't do many other services because, frankly, they're in the way of the tax problem thing here. And this is all we do. It's the only thing we do. We do 50 to 100 of these settlement things every year. So if you wanted to compare, say, a person who's an accountant or a person who's a lawyer who does many other things, they might do a case or two a year, maybe do 40 or 50 over 10 years. We do 50 to 100 every single year, state and federal. Now the other thing too is that over time we've developed a success rate that's phenomenal. We get 85% of these things done. 85%. The national acceptance rate is about 20. So that tells you that we're not lucky when we do it is what we do. And part of the thing that we do here that makes us so successful is this IFN thing that you see on our webpage. A couple things. Number one, the idea is to understand what caused the problem. How do you get rid of it? How do you keep it solved? Those things are important to us right up front because there are many people who would just take your money, throw an offer in the pipeline, you get more problems, and then they get more money. Not my thing here. My thing is to have an understanding of what caused the problem, how to fix it, and how to keep it solved, drawing a line in the sand, if you will, and doing everything correctly moving forward, and then figuring out how to solve the back end. Now the back end is usually a settlement, and this is where we use our IFN system. And believe it or not, it's critical. Every step in this system is critical to get the high success rate that we get. And let me give you a for instance, I part, the interpretation part. Most tax agencies are taught to assume you're a bad apple. There are notes in the file that say, hey, this guy is a bad apple. Our job is to convince them that you're one of the 99 good apples in the barrel of the 100, meaning there's one bad apple, so they all get treated like bad people. So we go in and we talk to these people, we explain to them what has happened, and not most every taxpayer that owes taxes because of things that they couldn't control. Divorce, major customer loss, medical issue, on and on and on it goes, and people get into tax problems simply because of things they cannot control. 99% of the people are good people, and we try to have the IRS and the state tax agencies understand that, so when they evaluate the offer, they're looking at you like a person, not a statistic. That goes a long way. And believe it or not, I don't think hardly anybody else in the competition does it. Don't know why, or if they do it, they don't do it correctly. Whatever. Anyway. The financial part, the F of the IFN, is how the financial statements are laid out. You have to understand the procedures that they use for evaluation. Some things are allowed, some things are not allowed. Some things can be recast from a non-allowable bucket to an allowable bucket. Some things can be capped, whereas they don't even check the totals. And this is common for such a thing as the national standard. The idea is to make sure that we get the financial statements into a spot where it looks like you qualify for an offer. Don't just put numbers on paper and throw it in there. It doesn't work. You have to get those financials laid out in a way that makes those procedures they use for evaluation work for you. So the last part is negotiation. You can't go into this business and have weak knees. If you're just going to throw the offer in there and pray for rain, it's not going to work. You have to negotiate from a position of strength. You have to know when to say, I'm going to be nice to a person in negotiations, when I'm going to be firm, when I'm going to be rude, and believe it or not, you have to use all three at times. But you have to know when to say when, And you have to let them know that you're not just going to roll over and play dead. Now, we think we're pretty good at negotiation because we get a lot of these things done. Many of these things done. I mean, I'd venture to say that if you took a look at 100 businesses like we are, 85% of them we get done. The national norm is 20. Think about that for a minute. You know, I always kind of equate this to getting your car repaired. If you wanted to get your car repaired, would you go to somebody who does one or two repairs a year? Or would you want to go to somebody who does 50 to 100 a year? Get the idea here. We only do tax problems, nothing else, and that's why we're so good at it. We know these people, a lot of them on a first name basis. We know how the rules work and how they apply the evaluations. They know us in negotiations now, and they see our name on things, and they kind of tend to give us a break when they might not to other people just because they know us. Anyway, I hope that you're here because you're thinking about using our services, and I hope that you give us a call, because one of the things I firmly believe in is that we are not a high-pressure group, and what we try to do is make sure that if you call in, we can tell you some of the things here, but in more detail, give you an idea what could be done, should be done, and then we tell you, if you want to hang up and never call us back again, we'd wish you well. But the idea is to make sure that when you leave us, when you get your free consultation, that you leave us, you know what it is your options are. Now, whether you use us or someone else is a matter of your choice, obviously. We'd like to see you here because we're pretty darn good at what we do. On the other hand, if you go somewhere else, we wish you well. But remember this, when you go to solve a tax problem, number one, you have to get it started. Get it started, get it going, get it in, get it done, and then it's off your back. So we'd like to see you here. Give us a call if you're interested. My name is Howard Korntved, President and CEO of Korntved Associates. Have a nice day.